The drill I'm about to share with you may just change your golfing life forever. It is undoubtedly my #1 drill that I have used on countless occasions with golfers of all abilities, from beginners to tour players, to help them improve their ball striking immediately. The drill is called Hit Hard, Stop Quick, and what it does by restricting the length of the follow through, it trains a different unloading of the golf club and a different movement pattern of the body to help coordinate all of the right pieces at the right time. The specifics of where to stop matter here. So we're going to start with this piece of the puzzle. When it comes to hit hard, stop quick, the goal in terms of your feel is to stop the swing as quickly as possible after impact. The visual kind of representation I use, the guide I use, is to try and feel like I stop this club before it reaches the edge of the hitting mat here. And while that might not always be true, I find that a useful reference. And if I'm able to think about stopping the club quickly after impact, the key benefits that I'm gleaning from that are the fact that I'm maintaining better arm structure, my arms are staying closer together, I'm maintaining better wrist mechanics where I have more shaft lean at impact, and I'm able to restrict or slow down how quickly the shaft is overtaking my arm. In a regular follow through, many of you will let the club just pass your arm and your wrist angles will be a complete mess. The stop quick exercise is really training you to keep the shaft trailing the lead arm for as long as possible, and for the bend in the right wrist flying wedge as it's described by the golfing machine, to stay intact for a lot longer. Those are things you would see that are consistent with excellent ball strikers. So to start out, let's make sure that we can stop this swing where we want to. You'll also notice that my weight is moved fully forwards into this left side. My trail foot is banking or rolling inwards, and my legs are beginning to straighten. It's going to be your body that starts to absorb the speed of the swing, as opposed to letting your arms and wrists slow the club down. So your body's going to start moving a little bit differently than how you're used to. But the great thing about this drill is so much of that movement starts to happen automatically. Let's start with where to stop. So back, hit down and stop. Goal here is to get that compression, that feeling of hitting down into the mat, and then that sensation of stopping as quickly as possible. And when I go slowly, I'm very much able to recreate and maintain these wrist bends and these desired angles that we've talked about. Once you're able to do that a few times, you'll be able to build up the length and the speed of this swing, because ultimately this drill is designed to be hit hard, stop quick. So let's keep progressing through the phases of this drill, making a longer backswing on this occasion, but still trying to stop right after impact. Again, I'm pulling that club back and really stopping as quickly as I can. That was a much longer swing. That ball's traveled over 100 yards that time, at 113. I'm hitting an 8-iron here, and I should expect and will expect to ultimately get this thing up to full speed. And what I feel as I'm doing this drill is a lot more structure in my arms. There's a real sensation of keeping the arms nice and close together. And as I stop the swing and slow it down, I'm able to utilize my body more in the follow through to slow this club down. I'm not relying on my arms and wrists doing it, which is where you'll all see your chicken wing and wrist bending that you don't like to see. That's really just your body not moving correctly. And this drill, as I've said before, pulls so many benefits together in one go. It's why it's my favorite drill. It trains your body to start moving correctly without having to think so consciously about it. That one was definitely a bigger, longer swing, and I felt I swung faster as well, but managed to maintain a number of good alignments. 140 yards there, getting up towards full speed and full distance with this 8-iron. So there's so many benefits to this drill. The radius management that it encourages, keeping the arm structure, keeping the arm straight, helps with the geometry of the swing, helps with that low point control. Managing and maintaining better wrist angles through the ball helps you to develop better club face control. So that's a more predictable start line, a more predictable curve on your golf ball. There's so many benefits. And the final one being that as you slow down the body and the body starts to absorb the speed that's going through it, the arms and the club get thrown past the body at the right time to begin to deliver the speed where we want it. They begin to deliver that clubhead speed right at the bottom of the stroke. So even with such a small follow through, you can produce near 100% distances. If you can't control where this thing stops, that's a sign that some things are amiss in your swing, and you need to just take a step back, reduce the speed somewhat, and learn to get the club and the body to stop in the correct place. Once you've done that and trained like that for a while, you can begin to go through the phases of this drill. As I mentioned, there are different speeds to it, but if you go too fast too soon and you're not able to stop this club correctly, and you find yourself being pulled forward with your arms flexing and the club traveling much further than desired, then take a step back from the speed. Just take it down a notch, go back to a speed that you are able to keep control of where this club stops. As mentioned already, I find that this exercise has an immediate benefit with golfers of every single ability. And then the next question I get asked is, wow, that's amazing contact, the ball flight's so much better. When can I go back to making a full swing? Well, I'd encourage you to try this for a long enough period of time that this follow through, or a slightly longer version of this follow through, really does become your full swing. There's literally no need to wrap this club around you as far as it can go, for you to turn your body as far as possible, thinking that that longer follow through creates more power. First of all, it doesn't. And second of all, it wreaks so much havoc on the geometry of the swing, the club face angle, the swing direction, and the contact, that you're just never going to be that consistent golfer that you're trying to be. Instead, take a leaf out of many of the professionals' book. You can look at both the men's and women's tour on a weekly basis, and you'll see how the best players are controlling the follow through. Their arms are much straighter in the finish. Their follow throughs are not wrapped around their heads, particularly when they're playing with their fairway shots, their irons and their wedges from the fairway. The driver may be a slightly different conversation because it's a faster swing, but if you can learn to control the arm structure into the follow through, hitting hard and stopping quickly, I simply guarantee you that your ball striking quality and consistency will go through the roof. That one was perfect. Absolutely out the middle. I felt like I stopped really quickly there. That's another 130-yard shot. So I'm getting somewhere close to full speed, and you can see how short this follow through is. Felt like I hit that one really solid. High, push, tiny little draw, almost bang on the target line there. There's a great example of how easy this is to do and how much consistency it builds into the contact. The strike was wonderful again. I haven't mishit one of these that I've hit, and the directional control goes up. So I'm now more consistent in terms of my contact, which means my distance is going to be more predictable, and my club face is more under control because my arm and wrist structure is better. So then my outcome's more predictable as far as where the ball's going to go. Those are really the fundamentals of golf: contact, distance, and curve. If you can control those things, you can become a better golfer. I promise you that hit hard, stop quick may just change your golfing life forever. And if you enjoy this follow through a lot, then I would encourage you to play golf using this drill. I know many people that have taken this drill to the golf course. This becomes their full swing. And if you try it and like it, why don't you let me know how you get on? So the hit hard, stop quick drill really could be game changing. It's the drill that you can use both in practice and on the course when you lose your ball striking. It pulls together many, many benefits that help to sequence and synchronize the swing in a way that no other drill I know of does. So you might find this becomes your go-to drill in practice. You may also find that this becomes your go-to swing on the golf course. Whatever it is, I'm just happy to have introduced you to the hit hard, stop quick phenomenon. This drill will completely change the way you play golf. If you enjoyed the video today, guys, please go ahead and hit that like button. It tells YouTube you enjoyed the content, and it will recommend this video to more people. As we approach the 5,000 subscriber number, I'd also like your help with getting across that milestone. So please hit that subscribe button and bell if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the wrist mechanics involved in the golf swing, particularly at impact and how you can compress the balls like the pros, then why don't you check out the video that I made right here, which talks about that exact subject.